First, I will tell you about Nandankanan's history. Nandankanan had a very interesting beginning. Some forest officials conceived the idea of including some rare wild animals and rare orchids typical to the state in the Odisha Pavilion in World Agriculture Fair 1960 at Delhi. It was contemplated that rare animals from Odisha would certainly make the Odisha Pavilion a crowd puller. Since procurement of wild animal and the transport to Delhi would be an expensive affair, therefore it was decided to include small animals like mouse deer, leopard cat, wild cat, pangolin, racket-tailed drongo, flying squirrel, hill myna, peacock, etc. The idea was much appreciated at the higher level and a decision was made to have a mini zoo in the World Agriculture Fair. Since there was hardly any time for the capture of wild animals from the wild, it was decided to approach persons who are in possession of the wild animals and procure the same by way of hire or purchase for the exhibition. Accordingly, the divisional forest officers were instructed to procure the wild animals for dispatch to Delhi. Fortunately, within a month, several wild animals including 2 spotted deer, 2 barking deer, 2 black buck, 1 mouse deer, 1 leopard cat, 1 flying squirrel, 1 racket-tailed drongo, 1 hornbill, 2 parrots, 2 hill myna, 1 peacock, 1 mongoose were collected. The divisional forest officer Diogar, late G.M. Das, captured 1 pangolin, scaly anteater, 2 porcupines from the forest. Similarly, P. Mahapatra, the then divisional forest officer, Puri, captured a pair of wild boars and a python from the forest. All these animals were sent to the Delhi and exhibited inside Odisha Pavilion in the World Agriculture Fair. Unfortunately, the State Finance Department raised serious objections to the idea of starting a zoo in Odisha as it would involve a lot of expenditure for its establishment and maintenance. Such a venture at that point of time needed deliberation in the Legislative Assembly and special budget provision. In the meantime, the wild animals arrived at Bhubaneswar by May 1960 and their upkeep and feeding was a serious problem for Forest Department. Fortunately, P. Mahapatra, Divisional Forest Officer Puri, and the G.K. Das, Divisional Forest Officer Deogar, came to the department's rescue. With their cooperation and efforts, temporary structures with brushwood and thatched roof were constructed at Khandagiri near Bhubaneswar to shelter these wild animals. The Jain committee also came forward with the help of feeding these wild animals at Khandagiri. These animals at Khandagiri attracted large number of visitors both from Bhubaneswar town and neighbouring villages. On the 6th day, Dr. Hari Krishna Mahatab, the then Chief Minister of Odisha, was pleased to see these wild animals. He immediately discussed with the Forest Minister, Forest Secretary, Finance Secretary, Chief Secretary and Chief Conservator of Forests regarding establishment of a zoo in Odisha. Initially, it was proposed to have the zoo at Ghatikia, close to Khandagiri and Udaygiri caves. It would also provide recreation to the urban population of Bhubaneswar. Later, it was felt that Ghatikia would pose water problems in future. A zoo needs lots of water to meet the need of animals, cleaning of animals, sheds, and for various other purposes. The then range officer of Chandaka suggested Jujagar forest block on Kanjia Lake near Barang railway station as the most ideal location. Initially, it was decided to keep spotted deer, barking deer, black bucks, wild boars, sambars, nilgai, and bears in spacious enclosures. Other animals like leopard cat, mongoose, flying squirrel, porcupine, python, monkeys, hyena, jackal, civet cat, pangolin, jungle cat, parrots, myna, and other birds in suitable cages. It was decided to put efforts to capture tigers and leopards which could be exhibited in suitable cages for the time being, and the suitable spacious enclosures would be built for them later on. On 29 December 1960, Shri S.K. Patil, the then Minister of Food and Agriculture, Government of India, inaugurated the new biological park christened as Nandankanan, the Heavenly Garden of God. Subsequently, a botanical garden came up in the year 1963. The Nandankanan Biological Park was renamed as Nandankanan Zoological Park in between 1981 to 1982. The zoo started growing slowly with addition of new enclosures, and the first tiger was brought to the zoo in the year 1964 from the Alipore Zoo in Calcutta, along with a pair of African lions, a puma, and a pair of muggers during All India Congress Committee session at Bhubaneswar. Now, I will tell you about Nandankanan Zoo's uniqueness. Nandankanan Zoo is the second largest zoo of India. Nandankanan Zoo is the first zoo in the world to breed the melanistic tigers in captivity. It is also one of the few zoos in India to house the melanistic tiger. Nandankanan Zoo is also the first zoo in the world to breed the white tigers in captivity from normal colored tigers. Famous for having the largest pool for gharials in the world, Nandankanan Zoo is also the first zoo in the world to breed the gharials in captivity. It started the program in 1980. Since then, Nandankanan Zoo has bred and released many of them. Nandankanan Zoo is also famous for the largest pool for hippopotamus in the world. On the other hand, Nandankanan Zoo houses the world's most trafficked mammal, the pangolin. Nandankanan Zoo houses the Indian pangolins and is the only Indian pangolin conservation breeding center in the whole world. Nandankanan Zoo currently houses 26 pangolins, out of which only one can be publicly viewed. The one which can be viewed by the public is kept in the nocturnal house. The rest of them are kept in the Indian Pangolin Conservation Breeding Center. In this place, the pangolins are kept in their natural habitat and no visitors can visit them. Their activities are closely monitored on the CCTV cameras, which can also record during the night. Nandankanan Zoo is the only zoo in India to house the patas monkey, eastern rosella, and the open-billed storks. Nandankanan Zoo is one of the few zoos in India to house the spotted munia, Burmese python, green-winged macaw, and the cinereous vulture. Nandankanan Zoo is the second largest heronry for open-billed storks in Odisha. Established in 30th March 2012, Nandankanan Zoo's electronic gate entrance system is the first of its kind in the country. Besides that, Nandankanan Zoo is also the only zoo in India with the open-top leopard enclosure. Till date, no other zoo in India has this type of enclosure for the leopards. Nandankanan Zoo housed India's only lone orangutan named Binny. Unfortunately, she died on 29th May 2019. She was as old as 41 years. Nandankanan Zoo is also the first zoo in the world to breed the Indian rattles or honey badgers in captivity. They are highly intelligent animals and managing them in captivity is not an easy job. They are venomless because of their thick skin. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, honey badger is the most fearless of all animals in the animal kingdom. Currently, you can find 2 honey badgers in the small mammals section and 1 in the nocturnal house, as they are a nocturnal species. Nandankanan Zoo is one of the few zoos in the world and the only zoo in India to have a slaughterhouse and a fodder farm. Nandankanan is situated inside a natural forest of semi-evergreen and moist deciduous nature, and it houses 725 species of plants. Nandankanan Zoo is the first zoo in India to be a part of the World Association of Zoos and Aquarium. It is the only zoo in India after which an express train, the Nandankanan Express, has been named by the Indian Railways. It is also one of the 3 conservation breeding centers for longbill vultures in India. The longbill vultures here are kept in the colony aviary. Nandankanan Zoo is among the 6 participating zoos for the conservation breeding of white-backed vulture identified by CZA, the Central Zoo Authority. Nandankanan Zoo takes maximum precautions to save its vultures from having any diseases. For the security of these birds, Nandankanan Zoo has many cameras in the colony aviary. Nandankanan Zoo also has a butterfly house, which is the first of its kind in Odisha. This butterfly house is situated in the botanical garden. It is spread over 3,200 square meter and has at least 85 species of butterflies. Nandankanan Zoo also has Odisha's largest orchid house. Nandankanan Zoo is the first premier large zoo to exhibit amphibians. Now let's explore some of the beautiful areas of Nandankanan Zoo. First is the Nocturnal House. The Nocturnal House here was established on December 29, 2015. The Nocturnal House is the largest and the best in India. The Nocturnal House in Nandankanan Zoo houses many nocturnal species of animals. Some of them are the Asian palm civet, barn owl, brown fish owl, the Indian pangolin, the rattle also known as honey badger, the flying foxes, the jungle cat, and the fishing cat. Second is the small mammals section. Here you can find one of the world's most smallest mammals. Some of them are the honey badger. The honey badgers are also known as rattle, Indian hare, Indian porcupine, Indian mouse deer, the giant squirrel, and the common mongoose. Third is the walkthrough aviary, which is free of cost. It's a unique exhibit in India. This exhibit houses many Indian and foreign species of birds. The walkthrough aviary has a cascading waterfall and a meandering water channel of 58-meter length connecting 2 pools having 2 arch crossover bridge along the 216-meter laterite stone paved walking path which separate entry and exit points. There are iron chains in the entrance point so that the birds don't escape. In addition to the existing large and small trees, hundreds of selective plants have been planted to provide perches and hiding places for the birds housed. There are enough feeding points and nest boxes for use of the birds selectively. The inmates of the aviary are a mixture of arboreal, terrestrial, and aquatic birds. It is a visitor's delight to view the free-flying birds overhead. Some of them are the Java sparrow, Jende conure, sun conure, silver pheasant, mandarin duck, the violet turaco, and the golden pheasant. Fourth is the safari. Nandankanan Zoo has 4 safaris. I will tell you some information and incidents which happened in Nandankanan Zoo's safari. Let's start with the bear safari. First, let me tell you some information. The bear safari here covers an area of 5 hectares. Nandankanan Zoo is also the 3rd zoo in India to have a bear safari. Established in the year 2012, the bear safari here provides visitors an opportunity to sight sloth bears in their natural habitat through safari bus service. Now, let me tell you an incident. One day, as always, some visitors were taking the tour of the safaris. During the tour in the bear safari, a black bear was spotted. Then the bus driver stopped the bus so that the visitors can take a clear look. Gradually, the bear came nearer and reached the window of the bus. Then it stretched its arm and tore the sari of a woman sitting nearby. The woman screamed and all the visitors were frightened. Now let's talk about the lion safari. Like the bear safari, let's start with information. A 20-minute drive through the meandering roads, crisscrossing the natural forest in a specially protected vehicle, takes the visitors straight into Pride of Lions in the Lion Safari over an area of 20 hectares established in the year 1984. The Lion Safari here is also the largest in India. Now let me tell you an incident. When the visitors were taking tour on the safari bus, they were blocked by a Pride of Lions for half an hour. Next is the White Tiger Safari. Let's start with information. Nandankanan Zoo's White Tiger Safari is the first of its kind in India. This unique White Tiger Safari was established on 1st October 1991 over an area of 12 hectares in natural surroundings. The safari is famous for blue-eyed white tigers. Now, let me tell you an incident. Once, when the visitors were taking tour of the safari, a tiger came from nowhere and suddenly broke the windshield of the bus. Then, the visitors at the front of the bus ran backwards to protect themselves from the tiger. Luckily, there was a stick in that bus. The driver wasted no time and grabbed the stick. He started to beat the tiger with it. The tiger jumped out with terror. Now let me tell you about the herbivorous safari. The herbivorous safari here was established in the year 2011, extended over an area of 21 hectares with a road network of 2 kilometers. The safari houses many species of animals like barking deer, Odisha's state animal and Asia's largest deer, sambar deer, hare, red jungle foal, the spotted deer also called as chital, peafowl, porcupines, the wild boar, and the four-horned antelope. Fifth is the amphibian house. Here you can find many different amphibian species. Many frog and toad species are found outside the amphibian house in Nandankanan Zoo. Some of the places where you can spot them are the Kanja Lake and the Botanical Gardens picnic place. Some of the amphibians you can spot in the amphibian house and Nandankanan Zoo are India's only newt species known as the Himalayan newt, common Asian toad, the painted balloon frog, the cricket frog, the marble toad, the green pond frog, grey balloon frog, Ferguson's toad, Indian skipper frog, Jerdon's bullfrog, and the Indian bullfrog. Sixth is the open-top leopard enclosure. In this video, I have told you that Nandankanan Zoo is the only zoo in India with the open-top leopard enclosure and is the first of its kind. Now I will tell you about this more in detail. The leopard enclosure here has a deep dry moat and 4 feeding chambers with 2 back kraals. The entire enclosure has natural vegetation including 2 large trees together with other trees and bushes. In addition, there are environmental enrichments including the machan platforms, stone caves, wooden logs, water trough, etc. These are provided to encourage them to indulge in natural activities. Seventh is the toy train. The toy train has been a great attraction for the children. It starts from the toy train station which goes round a circular track of 1.58 km along the lake and thickly vegetated hillock area with free-ranging herbivores. The entire facility is now under renovation. Eighth is the library. If one has got time and an aptitude for learning, then the centrally located library with a wonderful collection of more than 3,000 books and journals on wildlife, veterinary and other matters can serve one's certification. Ninth is the Zoo Museum. The Zoo Museum established in Nandankanan to preserve display, and interpret the animal specimens of zoological importance for public viewing and natural education. This facility is of great interest to the visitors in general and school children in particular. The zoo museum here drags many visitors and researchers because it has preserved skins of animals, eggs of animals, cubs and feti of animals. Now let me tell you about some of the preserved things. First, I will let you know about the eggs of flightless birds. The eggs here are not alive and no harm was caused to the animals when these eggs were brought because they were unfertilized. Can you guess which egg it is? It's an cassowary egg. Next is the ostrich egg, which is the largest of all birds. And finally, there are some emu eggs. Apart from the eggs, you can find many other things in the zoo museum. First, I will tell you about the models. These models are wrapped with skins of real animals. No harm was caused to the animals because the skins preserved here are their dead skins. Some of them are the saltwater crocodile. The saltwater crocodile in Odisha is exclusively found in Bhitarkanika. Next are the Magar crocodile and the Gharial crocodile found in Sadkosia National Park. You can find many other animal models like tiger, white tiger, leopard, black panther, chimpanzee, India's only ape species, hulok gibbon, small looking kangaroos, wallabies, the largest rodent capybara, clouded leopard, fishing cat, king cobra, and the Indian pangolin. Now I will tell you about the foetuses or feti and cubs of animals preserved here. The preserved animals here are kept in containers filled with oil. Some of the animal babies which you can find here are tiger cub, leopard cub, baby pangolin, baboon infant, bonnet monkey infant, baby honey badger, and the jackal pup. Now I will tell you about some of the preserved feti or foetuses of animals. Some of them are lion foetus, sloth bear foetus, zebra foetus, and nilgai foetus. 10th is the Interpretation Center. The Interpretation Center has been established near the entrance gate. The center has display boards, models, and audiovisual aids depicting the importance of zoological park and other important wildlife areas of Odisha. It also displays the activities behind the scenes for creating awareness amongst the people. A film on Nandankanan is also screened in the mini auditorium inside the center. 11th are the battery operated vehicles. To facilitate elderly and physically challenged visitors in particular and tourists in general, battery operated vehicles BOVs are available for tourists on payment of Rs 80 per head. There are two types of vehicles, one carrying 6 to 7 people and the other 12 to 13. 12th is the boating facility. Boating on paddle or row boats in the blue water of Kanjia Lake is an exhilarating experience. The multi-story boat ghat is renovated to give new looks, providing enough space for the visitors to relax and enjoy the picturesque fresh water spreading over an area of more than 66 hectares lake. The boating service is outsourced for better management and satisfaction of the visitors. The lake is also known for its rich floral and faunal diversity and is declared as a wetland of national importance by Government of India. 13th is the Reptile Park. A reptile park with a life-size Tyrannosaurus at its entrance with an interpretation center houses 27 species of reptiles including crocodiles, lizards, turtles and snakes. and Reptile Interpretation Center depicting the evolution of biology of reptiles has been established in the entrance of Reptile Park, displaying models of prehistoric animals. Some of the reptiles in the Reptile Park are the world's longest snake, reticulated python, the world's longest venomous snake, king cobra, land monitor lizard, water monitor lizard, iguana, yellow anaconda, Indian star tortoise, Ganga's softshell turtle, Indian flapshell turtle, Weaver's dwarf caiman, Indian tent turtle, the Siamese crocodile, and the saltwater crocodile. 14th is the aquarium. Aquarium is an integral component of a modern zoo. Adequate steps were taken to include well-researched education materials on the various aquatic ecosystems, both marine and freshwater, indicating their uniqueness and conservation needs. The aquarium was dedicated to the visitors on 4th February 2008 by the Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha. Now, I will tell you some animals which Nandankanan Zoo has successfully bred and nursed. Nandankanan Zoo has successfully bred all the 3 species of Indian crocodilians. Nandankanan Zoo so far has reared more than 330 tigers. Nandankanan Zoo has also successfully bred more than 1580 gharials. Next are the water monitor lizards. Water monitor lizards are breeding here regularly since 2012. Since then, 27 births have took place in the zoo. Some individuals have been given in animal exchange program to 6 different zoos of India, including Bhagwan Birsa Biological Park, Ranchi, MC Zoological Park, Punjab, National Zoological Park, New Delhi, Madras Crocodile Bank Trust, Chennai, Nehru Zoological Park, Hyderabad, and Arignar Anna Zoological Park, Chennai. In 2018, the zoo has succeeded to hatch the water monitor lizard egg through artificial incubation. Apart from this, Nandankanan Zoo has bred many other animals including Malayan giant squirrel, honey badger also known as rattle, sloth bear, Indian porcupine, white-necked stork, saltwater crocodile, Siamese crocodile, chimpanzee, grey heron, brow-antlered deer, swamp deer also known as Barasingha in Hindi, Himalayan black bear, mugger crocodile, caiman crocodile, black-tuft marmoset, barking deer, mouse deer, silver pheasant, golden pheasant, sambar deer, black buck, spotted deer, the largest bovine cattle in the world, gaur, violet turaco, brown pelican, hippopotamus, Nilgiri langur, emu, and the Indian pangolin.